Welcome back to JB Reviews. I found yet another 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom fifth wheel. These are becoming more and more popular. This is a Keystone Avalanche 390DS. And I did find this at Parris RV here in Murray, Utah. Special shout out to these guys. Super nice, super easy to work with. And be sure to give them a look up if you are in the market for a fifth wheel. They have a huge selection, multiple locations. But I'm starting to see more and more fifth wheels like this because I live in a campground currently, and a lot of people are getting occupancy there. And normally in the wintertime, there's always like a lot of spaces unfilled because of how cold it is. But where I'm staying at right now, just about every space is filled. And most of the campers I'm seeing are filled with families, so they need these 2-bed, 2-bath setups. Now I'm going to show you guys around this fifth wheel. Let's start off in the back. But love the colors. Avalanche is a more affordable wide body fifth wheel. This is more considered on the higher end of fifth wheels. And their price point is a little bit better than the others. So let's go ahead and walk back here and we'll start out in the rear bath. So walking all the way back, you can see you do have a door for this rear area. And this is a full bath. Now, I do not have anything hooked up to the power for this RV, but this has a solar package. It's the 400i. I'll show it to you here really quickly, and it'll just show you what comes available. So you don't no longer need to be hooked up to shore power or have batteries anymore. Now that they have solar and inverters, you don't necessarily need anything anymore, to run your fifth wheel. But check out all the storage you will have in this bathroom. Like, this is definitely fit for a decent sized family of maybe 4 or 5. And even above here, places to put some of your belongings. This is a plastic sink. Not my favorite design, but look at how much countertop space you have around it. And on this side, you do have a stand shower. And obviously you'd have a toilet right here. It's porcelain. And when you're hooked up and at a campsite, if you do have kids and you don't want them running in this area, they can enter and exit through the rear door, which I do like. So this is going to be the rear bedroom. And this is actually a decent size too. This is going to be a queen size bed. And you do have power on that side as well on this side too. Okay, so there's no power on the side. It's just little storage cubbies. So just power on this side of the bed, which is fine. You have 2 windows, which give you some natural light to come in. And you have a dresser. And you could probably even use this as like a desk too. Love these little cubbies down below for shoes. They have it on both sides. And this is going to be like your wardrobe. And notice how the drawers are soft closed. And the drawers are actually pretty wide. And they're pretty deep too. And as you would expect, there will be some storage below the bed. And then check out the walkway through here. Power outlet on the side. And there are some steps to walk up into the main area. So this is going to be the living room. And as you see on the side, you have a large fireplace and TV. Storage above, which is no surprise. And behind the television, there isn't anything, but you really don't need it because check out how deep this storage is. And here's your sound system through Jensen with speakers. And really in this area, you have this seating. It's going to basically be a love seat. And then you have your dinette here with 4 chairs. But look how large your island is with power. And look at the design on the front of it. Looks really good. And you don't normally see this, but you have a ton of countertop space beside the cooktop here too. While we're talking about it, this is going to be a 3-burner cooktop. And oven below. And huge storage below that. I like that they gave that to you. Yeah, I like this setup here because this is really built for full-time living. Check that out. Very unique. And yeah, there's just tons of drawers too. And that trash can is in the perfect spot. I like how they gave you all of your piping, everything on this side. And you still have some storage to retain here too. More countertop space. This is probably where you're gonna put your coffee pot at if you're a coffee drinker. And then check above here. So there's all the storage there. You're gonna have your control panel for your breakers right there. And all the drawers are gonna be this size. So this is gonna be an 18 cubic feet gas electric refrigerator. I'm not a huge fan of the gas electric, but if you do put a fan on the back of those fins, this thing will work flawlessly, and what I'm saying won't really matter. Tons of storage, huge, I mean huge freezer area. And this is definitely great for those full-time families that are gonna be using these RVs. Now, this is a residential size insignia microwave. And then look at all the trim pieces above on the slides. And these are really, I mean, those slides are probably what, 7 foot? And as I mentioned, you do have a fan on the ceiling. If you do plan on camping in the summertime, it'll get hot. So you're gonna wanna put fans on the floor, but having this one in this area keeps stuff off the floor. That's why I love when they put ceiling fans in fifth wheels. And there's gonna be 2 AC units. There's a 15K and a 13.5 up front. And let's go ahead and start heading back there now. So here's your AC and your controls for the vent fan. And I like how they put this behind the door. This just shows you all your controls for your slides, your lights, water heater, all that good stuff. And then here is the main bathroom, your master bathroom, I should say, and your master bedroom. And I like how tall this counter is too. And check that out. Great storage. And this is a decent sized bathroom too. This is a one-piece shower. And a lot of places to put some of your stuff too. And you have a seat above the sink. Vent fan. Yeah, this is big. This is really big actually. And then check out your master bedroom. So on this side, you do have some power. I don't see any USBs. And then these are the Coleman Mach. So they actually use like the home style filters. No power on this side, but just little storage cubbies. And this is definitely a king bed. It's really soft too, by the way. And check this out. This is probably something you don't normally see. You see how they cut the wood this way? See on mine, it's a pointed edge. So every time we walk around our bed, it catches us. So they thought outside the box on this one and fixed that. I like that they did that. Tons of storage. And check this out. This is something I would like to see in more RVs is a seat so you can take your shoes off. And storage right there. And notice how there's no carpet in this fifth wheel. There's none whatsoever. And I like that they gave you a big mirror too. And huge closet. I don't see that they put any lights in here. But the rod pretty much runs side to side. Storage above. And your washer and dryer prep is on this side. And look at the floor space. It's almost like a walk-in closet. And then you could put a TV on the wall right there if you'd like. And you have room darkening blinds. Now let's go ahead and head outside so you guys can see the outside. And these drawers are all the same size, by the way. One last thing, they have a dimmer switch. When you live in an RV full time, trust me when I say this, you're gonna learn to love this because these lights are super bright at night and being able to dim them is a game changer. So here's a front cap design. Love the wide body stance too. They are using a road armor through Lippert up here. So it does have a pivoting head to help with bucking and chucking. And it helps to dampen the ride going down the road. Now this may be locked. Oh, no, it's not. But you can put a generator up front if you like, or you could just use this spot for storage. On this side, you're gonna have hydraulic 6-point auto leveling. They also put the inverter in here, and then your controls for that too. Off to the side, I believe this has 30-pound propane tanks. Actually, no, this is where the batteries would go. So as I mentioned inside, because of the inverter and the solar, you don't really need batteries anymore to get the lights to come on. And here is this side of the storage area. It is kind of boxed in here, which is fine. And they do put lights in this area too. And look at this latch. I don't remember seeing this in the past, but this is what holds the door up. Power, and this is an inverted outlet too, so you don't have to be hooked up to shore power for this to work. And this is the back of the furnace, and if you would like to add a blind spot camera on the side, you can. Lippert solid step, as I mentioned in the past, they've been using these a lot more. And this is a pretty tall door. Outside speakers, awning with LED lights below it. And then this is like a solar plug here, I mean, which you don't really need. I don't know why they even put this on here when you have this guy, the 400i package. And here's one of your jacks in the center, and there's gonna be one in the back. Rack and pinion slide out with an additional awning out back. And check out these frameless windows too. They look really nice. And you can see when you step down into that bedroom out back, this area does have a drop frame. I didn't show it to you, but the front also has a drop frame too. And here's the back of the rig too. You cannot connect a hitch back here because obviously this door, it would be in the way. And then here's where your 50 amp plug is. CARMTEK slide. And then here's one of the areas you're gonna dump from too. You have two valves, one for black and gray. And let's check out your tires. So these are gonna be a high spec tire. I would probably recommend going ahead and upgrading these. They do fill in with nitrogen, which is good. And this is gonna be an ST235/80 16-inch wheel. And then here's some of the specs for the tire. Hopefully you guys can see it. So it's gonna be a 4,080 pound rated tire at 110 PSIs. And then road armor, which is the best, I think personally. And then there's the other place where you're gonna dump from. Spare tire in the center. And if you look below on the side of the frame here, you do have a storage area for your sewer hoses. And this is where your water heater would be at. Now this may be locked. Oh, it's not locked. Spoke too soon. And then, so this is gonna be your wet bay. I like that it's broken off from the basement area. You have your valves below here. And your low point drains are right there. And actually, I don't mind where the valves are because your water connections are right here. So they don't really get in the way of this. So I like how they did this. Okay, so I was wrong. So they did not break off this basement area. They're just working on this RV. They probably winterized it. That's exactly what they're doing. They winterized the RV, and that's why this panel is pointed that way. So this is a pass-through storage area. And lastly, this is where your propane tanks are. So you're gonna have two 30-pounds. You might be able to get 40-pound tanks per if you like, but this is pretty adequate right now for this type of RV. And then here's your auto leveling system. It's in a great area because you have line of sight of your pin box. And above me is the SwinTech slide for that front bedroom. Now here are the numbers for this rig. So your unloaded vehicle weight is going to be 14,350 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is going to be 65. And your axles are rated for 7,000 per. And then here's your all-in cargo carrying capacity. So let's go ahead and pick out a truck really quickly. I have one in mind that I would choose for this fifth wheel. Let's go ahead and put the numbers in. Here's the truck we're going to be using for the example. I strongly recommend the dually for these larger fifth wheels. This is the Shadow Gray. It's a 2020 Chevy Silverado I did a review on. I will put it at the end of this video if you want it just for reference to see some of the options on it. I did put the window sticker in the video. But let me show you something with this fifth wheel on the Keystone website first. This does have the washer and dryer prep up front. And as you guys saw on that lower basement area, you can put an 09 generator in this fifth wheel. They do have a prep package for it. But if you're going to add those items, your pin weight is going to get a lot heavier. So when you're doing your math, you need to add to the percentages for this. So what I normally do is I normally go on to the manufacturer's website and I look for the dry hitch weight. So I assume that they take this number off of the shipping weight. So this is basically going to be 19%. I'm going to use 22% just because this is a big fifth wheel. And so when you're thinking about the shipping weight, there are some optional things that you can get on this RV. So this RV does come standard with the 2 AC units, so you don't have to worry about adding weight for that. But for the most part, if you're going to add those washer and dryers in that generator, I would strongly go 22%, if not 23%, because those items will add to the pin weight. So here's why I picked the dually. This dually has a 14,000 pound GWR. With GM, you cannot derate the dualies, but these trucks are typically a lot heavier, but even though you still have over 5,300 pounds of payload. And check out the towing capacity. Now, any video that I do on a review for a truck, I always get the numbers as much as possible so that you have an idea of the payload, because every truck's going to be different. That's why I put the window sticker in there for you too. But here's what a lot of people get wrong. When you think about your passengers and your cargo, I assume this is going to be 5 people inside the cab. Now, if you get a 6 passenger, this number could go up. But figure 5 people plus your hitch and any other gear that you bring with you. That's 1,135 pounds that you have to subtract from this number here. So all in all, you have basically 4,211 pounds. That's still a lot of payload when you think about this fifth wheel. So as I said, I'm going to use 22%, and even though you saw that the unloaded vehicle weight was somewhere in that 14,000 pound range, nobody goes camping that way. And keep in mind, propane tanks, batteries are never going to be filled when they do the numbers. So I'd use 16,000 pounds. It's about 500 pounds below GWR. And then here is what the hitch weight would be at 22%. So even with that heavy hitch weight, you still have 691 pounds available. These are just rough estimates. Obviously, when you get the trailer, it could go up or down, and depending on how you load your truck and your RV, these numbers could change too. But this is just a good estimate of what you can probably expect when you look at your truck. But one thing I love about this one is it has a huge towing capacity, big payload, so these larger, longer fifth wheels are better suited for these trucks. But hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and if you are in the market for a Keystone Avalanche, be sure to ask for Parris RV here in Murray, Utah, and let them know you saw this video if you do decide to purchase.